Hi there, and welcome to Lesson 12. In this lesson, we're going to cover the creation of rectangles and polygons in 2D. So you can create rectangles and polygons here under the curve menu. You can find circles, arcs, ellipses, etc., etc., etc. You can find them up in here. You can also find them right here under the rectangle flyout, which I'm going to go ahead and pull out, and you can find the polygons right here on the left hand side below the arc. If you've missed some of the earlier lessons and you don't see how I did that, there are two icons here. Both of them have a triangle in the lower right hand corner. I click on the triangle, I get a little menu that pops up, I grab the purple bar across the top, and I can pull that out and view it. Notice it's still over here. The other one is on the left hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. Polygon, I click on the triangle, the menu flies out, and I pull it out. Okay, now a couple different types of rectangles, and we're going to go ahead and start with those. Notice again, if I hover over any of these, it'll tell me more or less how they work. If I hover over the first one, this is a rectangle corner to corner, so I can go ahead and click on it and read the command line. First corner of the rectangle. Notice there are different options. 3 points, vertical, center, around curve, rounded. Right? So if I just go 3 points, 1, 2. All right. Now the second one is rectangle center to corner. So the first point is the center, and the second point is the outside corner. Our third option is rectangle 3 points. So it'll say start of the edge, 1, hold down my shift, second one, and then the third one. Okay. This one is a vertical rectangle. So this is a vertical rectangle, only works really in perspective. So if I click on rectangle vertical, click once, click twice, click a third time, and that rectangle actually will exist in 3D. I'm going to go ahead and delete that one because it gets a little confusing. And then the last one here is the rounded rectangle. All right, I'm going to go ahead, and maybe it's good for you to watch this done in 3D. So I'll go ahead and pull my first corner, click on the second corner, and then as I begin to go in, I'll actually can get a rounded corner or a fillet on that rectangle. I'm going to go back to my top view. Okay, so that rounded rectangle again looks like that. Now if we read the command line, I'm just going to select all those, drag them over here for a second. Let's go back to our first rectangle. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to read the rectangle, or read the command line. It'll say first corner of rectangle. Let's say I want this at 3, 3, enter, and it'll say other corner or length. I could say 10, 10, enter, and there it is. Looks really more like a square. If I repeat that command, type in 0 for the first corner of the rectangle, 0, enter, and now if I type in 10, 10, I actually get two rectangles, one here and one there. All right. Now, I'm going to move both of those guys out of the way. One more time. This time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click randomly, and then it's going to say other corner or length. This time, I'm going to type in R 10, 20, and that's going to give me a rectangle that is 10 units in this direction and 20 units in that direction. Okay? Which is going to be very, very different. I'm going to put that back to where it was. If I do a rectangle like this, start it, type in 0, enter, and if I type in 10, 20, enter. Notice this was a relative 10, 20, 10 in the x, 20 in the y, and this was absolute 10, 20. Okay? So, I'm going to go ahead and delete these. Okay, delete that. And let's talk about our polygons. couple different types of polygons. This one is center radius. This one is circumscribed. There's a difference. So here I can click on the first one, start to drag it out. Notice here it says number of sides, 5. So and you notice where my cursor is at this vertex, or at this intersection point. Now I'm going to repeat that command. This time I'm going to stay, instead of inscribed, I'm going to say circumscribed. And watch this. Still at the same place. This time I'm going to try it here. Circumscribed, coming from the center. Okay, and the reason for that is we have 5. But what if we do something a little bit different? Polygon by edge. Notice here it actually starts on the edge, and I can drag it in a certain direction. This one from the center, square, perfect square, and square along the edge. Okay, and let's look at the star. Notice it says number of sides, 4. Pull it out, click, and bring it in, and you can get yourself a star. Notice I can change it, number of 4 sides instead of 4. I can put 9 and go out with 9 sides, and then slowly begin to fold in. Okay. Now the last one is called, and one of the other options that we haven't looked at, is around a curve. Okay. So let's say I make a curve polyline here, and we're going to show this to you in 3D. So we're in our perspective. This time I'm going to say I want a star with 9 sides, this time around a curve. So I'm going to click the around curve option, and it'll say select the curve, and it'll say where on this curve do you want it, at the very end, in the middle. I'll just say here in the middle. And notice I can drag out. And there we go. Now we have this curve that's perfectly created around this other curve. Or we have this polygon that's created around this curve. Now, we don't know why we might be wanting to use that at this particular juncture, but believe me, later dates, this will be a very, very important thing to know. So just know that it is possible to create a polygon around a curve. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the lesson, and I'll see you in the next lesson, and we'll work on some more two-dimensional drawing. Thanks very much.